are you Libras? Welcome to my channel, Tarot and Stuff. My name is Sid and I hope that you are keeping well. So I have created this channel with the idea of doing weekly love readings for each astrological sign. I'll keep them pretty simple. I'll draw 5 cards. They will be from 5 different decks and we'll just see what wants to come up. I also have a bag of love notes. And I'll draw one at the beginning, but then at the end, I'll draw another 5. And I like to have you choose a number from 1 to 5. And being a general reading, hopefully you'll get a more specific message. Or you can even choose a couple of numbers. So let's get a few cards to start. And I will put a date on the video, but if you do watch it at a later time and you feel like, you know, it resonates, then it's for you. Messages for Libra. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords. And let's get another one. Okay, we have the King of Cups. We have God of Vulnerability. And the energy is gaining momentum. Nice. This is a really promising card. So with the Knight of Swords and the energy is gaining momentum, it's like things are starting to move. If things have been stagnant, I think things are picking up. There is some kind of very layered situation. It's not black and white. This could also be a connection where you go through cycles of maybe nothing happening, not really speaking, and then you'll have another round where there might be contact or you feel really close and, you know, it just repeats. So there is something that is building here. I do feel like there's someone that is a lot more sensitive than they seem. The King of Cups is someone who's very emotional. They have a lot of depth. You might be dealing with a Cancer sign, but they are very sensitive. They have an Achilles heel. And an Achilles heel is like one's vulnerability. There might have been some kind of word spoken. This can be a pretty straight shooting, kind of blunt type of communication. If there has been some of that in the past, I really think someone has, you know, taken it to heart. And if there is more communication on the horizon with this, the energy is gaining momentum. I feel like there's a message about like being aware that someone is a lot more sensitive than they might even appear. Let's turn over your note. It says, I feel like you don't take accountability for your part in what happened. So that's also going back to this like reference to a layered situation. It's probably not black and white. You have your perspective, they have their perspective. Yeah, someone might feel that you're not taking accountability for whatever part you played in things being the way that they are. If you were doubting someone having feelings, these cards are saying someone definitely was impacted by whatever happened, by whatever words were spoken. And they could be feeling pretty vulnerable. This Knight of Swords is actually moving away from the rest of these cards. So, you know, someone might have done a bit of a runner in the past. But let's get a card from a new quirky deck that I have, which is called the Cat Tarot. So it's a cat themed deck, but they're all different characters. So as you can see, we have Luke Skywalker, we have Merlin, Genghis Khan. So we'll just see who wants to make an appearance. All right, so we have the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and it is the Judgment card. That's interesting because in this card, it's like almost this foggy energy where it's hard to see. It's like mist in the morning. And this card speaks about like waking up from a spell, waking up from a nightmare. And there's these trumpets blowing. And being the Judgment card, it's a call to rise. And you have this person who's on their knees, which is exactly what you have in this God of Vulnerability card. There has been some kind of wake-up call. Whoever's showing up as having this kind of Achilles heel, it's like there was some kind of like spell cast over them. Or it might even be yourself that feel like you're waking up from something. Judgment is that card of awakening, and it's moving into like a higher version of ourselves. It can be this card where, you know, we want to change our life, we want to do things differently, we want to be different. Can be a card of forgiveness and redemption as well. What was on the back of that? Interesting. We have Peter Pan on the back. And the story of Peter Pan is of a boy who never wants to grow up. But there's a reason, especially with this God of Vulnerability. And I did a bit of research when I got this deck, and I read about the origins of the story of Peter Pan. And it's a really sad story. It said that there was this boy, and I think he was a week away from his like 14th birthday. And he went out ice skating with or it was his 13th birthday, I think. And he went out ice skating with his friends, and one of his friends pushed him over. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but he hit his head and he actually died. And it was his mother or his father who ended up writing the story of Peter Pan. And so the reason why Peter Pan is the boy who never grew up is because his life was essentially cut short. But his character and the memories of him live on. And so, you know, this card, and I even feel sad talking about it, because I feel like if someone goes about something in a way that isn't like very pleasant, maybe even has like fears of commitment or going deep, it could be because of like something that happened when they were younger, something that happened in childhood that kind of makes them feel a bit vulnerable and hesitant to go deep. But, you know, that could be changing with this Judgment card. There's this wake-up call. But take it how it feels, right? What I am going to do is draw the love notes now. So I do place the notes on the card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you felt particularly drawn to a card, you can choose the number that corresponds with the card, and hopefully that will be your message. Some of them are challenging, so I always say, like, if it doesn't feel right, let it go, or you can get creative with how you interpret it as well. So let's get number 1. It says, let's be a team, not compete with each other. So on top of the Knight of Swords, you might be both very headstrong and have very strong ideas and opinions. Number 2. says, can't we talk it over in bed? And that's from the King of Cups. This is someone who, they might not feel comfortable speaking. They'd rather kind of express themselves in a very physical way. Or maybe they just want to make up. So we have number 3. It says, I'm scared it's too good to be true. And that's pretty perfect on top of the God of vulnerability. Number 4. I have strong sexual desire for you. The energy is gaining momentum. And number 5. Says, don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. Something about communication and someone really finding it hard to like say how they feel. They might even just think that you should know how they feel. Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I hope you got some messages from that, Libra. If you did, of course, I'd love it if you like and subscribe. Take care of yourself and see you next time. Bye.